morning, and welcome to our 33rd day of our Corona confinement. Today we are doing church. It's Sunday, and I love to do church on Sunday. I like to, some of you know me and know that I am a Unity minister, and some others don't, and they don't know what Unity is. So I kind of like to explain it very quickly. Unity teaches practical Christianity. We also recognize and behold the divinity of one God, and that we all worship the same God in many different ways. So in a Unity service, you may hear a quote from the Bible. You'll very likely hear a quote from the Bible, also from other religious traditions. So I welcome you. I'm so glad you're with me today as we worship together. And just so you know, the meaning of the word worship is worthship. What we are doing is we're spending time to focus on what we give worth to. I want to give you a little warning before we get started. Some of you may, I've got the crazy hair, some of you may get angry at what I have to say today, or may say it was mighty serious for a Sunday morning, and everything, especially if you know me. But I'm going to beg you to hold in for the whole service, because I think at the end you'll have some really powerful things to think about. So I'm going to begin with an opening prayer. The prayer that I'm using is a universal prayer. It came from the Theosophical Society. It was written, I don't know, in the late 1800s. But I would like to share that with you. It's very powerful. So let's bring us away from the world of challenges and problems and come into a space of peace. We affirm that there's only one presence and one power in the universe and in our lives. God, the good, omnipotent. The great invocation. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of men. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of men. May the divine teacher return to earth. From the center where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of men, the purpose which the masters know and serve. From the center which we call the race of men, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth. There is a plan. There's a plan whether we want to realize it or not. But I have total confidence in a plan for the unfolding of all that is good. And at the same time, just so you know, we're all a part, not apart from, but a part of manifesting the good that we want. The first part of that invocation was about let light come. In Matthew chapter 5, verse 14, we are told, hang on a minute. We are told, oh, I got my little paper stuck over it. You are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hidden. Nor do they light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on a lampstand. And it gives light to all who are in the house. Let your light so shine before all that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. Now remember those powerful words? You are the light. And remember the most important words, the Father, your Father, our Father, that makes us all one. One presence, one power, God the good. Ever since I was a child, I was taught that the ultimate battle would be between the children of light and the children of darkness. And I thought it was in the Bible. Now, it's not in the Bible, although the Bible frequently talks about light and darkness. And that's really kind of ultimately what we're doing, is we're overcoming the lower consciousness of this world. But the children of light and children of darkness, that phrase comes from a book that was written in 1944. It's older than me. When I heard about the book, because I had the battle of the children of light and children of darkness in my head like all my life, and I don't know, I thought it, like I said, I thought it came from the Bible. I don't know where it came from. But in 1944, Reinhold Niebuhr wrote The Children of Light and the Children of Darkness. It's a book. And he was discussing democracy, which was coming under attack during World War II. He did this through the articulation of his children of light and children of darkness. Now, the children of light are the proponents of democracy. They are optimistic and almost naive about how society can be rid of evil. Evil can be governed and enlightened by reason. They believe that everyone will do what's best for the people around them. If there were still white knights in shining armor, they would be the epitome of what the children of light would believe in to protect them from evil. The children of darkness, however, are the other side of the spectrum. They are anti-democratic, anarchic, and in a sense, they are filled with evil. But evil might be defined differently than what we are used to. To the children of darkness, there is no law beyond self. All that matters to them is the individual. They are extremely wise, but evil in their use of the wisdom. In this way, they can truly understand the power of self-interest and turn it against the children of light. Now, this was a piece of an article that was written in 2013. So let's go back in our minds to 2013. We're coming up forward from 44. It says, in today's world, there are children of light and children of darkness. And who wins? We would like to believe the good wins. This article that was found in a place, it's a great website called Big Think. And it talks about all kinds of really out there issues that are just so fascinating. So Big Think, if you want to check that out. But he said, look at the current financial crisis, economic meltdown, recession. He says the CEOs, Wall Street bankers, and the rating agencies that said everything was going to be good are the children of darkness. Well, we could probably point out a few people that we thought were children of darkness as well. Can do we say with confidence that we are children of light? I'd like to be able to say I am. We have to ask ourselves, are we children of light or are we children of darkness? You know, we've spoken before about the 4 quadrants of consciousness, with the upper 2 quadrants being intuitive sensing. I think the best way to explain that would be the part that's tuned in to something higher. And the lower part would be our very carnal human part. It doesn't make it bad. It's like my dad always said, it's not what you got, but what you do with it that counts. I like to consider that we answer to a higher authority as spiritual beings having a human experience. Sometimes we're a little more human, sometimes we're a little bit more spiritual, but the choice of how to be is up to us. The author of that article said that it appeared that the children of darkness won the battle because nobody from the what happened in 2000, the Great Recession that preceded 2013, they weren't in jail, and I think even in our times today, we would say, well, here we are again. But you know what? Think about the word battle. It's a battle. It's not the war. We want to win the war. Why do we keep having battles? Well, as long as we keep having battles, we haven't won the war. Oh, we may think we have won. But until we're living in a world that works for all, we still have work to do. And it's okay. One of the things that is challenging about this time we're in is that we are so divided in our country. And we're divided in so many ways. And friends are divided, and families are divided, and political parties are divided, and churches are divided. And the only way we're going to work is when we work as one. Now, there are a lot of people who are, Scott Peck called them people of the lie, that see only from the human perspective and can't see the bigger picture, And so what happens is when we only look through the human part, we are opening ourselves up to listening to or living lies. One of the issues that comes up a lot these days is called globalism. A lot of people are afraid that we're going to be homogenized into this one cookie cutter being in a cookie cutter world, probably led by the master cookie cutter. I don't know. But that's not what it's like at all. We work together not as just one is homogenized, but oneness in diversity. We are each different expressions of God. We each have wonderful things to do. We have great things to offer. That's where we can express the best to do our part. Your heart cannot do your kidneys' work. Your liver cannot do your heart's work. Your ears cannot do your eyes' work. We're all necessary, I mean, you know what? People want French wine because it's French, Swiss cheese because it's Swiss. The wonderful. And yeah, America's known as a melting pot, but it's a wonderful melting pot. It doesn't really all homogenize, but it's a melting pot of all different cultures and different belief systems, and we all can work together for good. Man, I remember when I was a kid, Chinese food was just getting known here. I didn't know about Mexican food till I was in my 30s, I think. No Mexican food? My stars. I remember when pizza made it big. I was a teenager. All these wonderful things, and it's not all about food. I just tend to kind of make things all about food. So here we are, so divided. And there's something that we finally have that we can all jump on and all work together on to bring us back to being one. You know what it is? Nobody's saying anything. It's the virus. The coronavirus is a common enemy. Oh, and we do have people working on it over here and over here and over there and, working on finding. Imagine if we brought all of our wisdom, all of our knowledge, all of our power together and attacked this common enemy in unison. We're having a hard time attacking it in our own country, where some people are working to stay in, stay safe, listen to scientists. Other people are fighting to get out. And if you're one of the ones fighting to get out, please don't be mad at me. It is what it is. We have to know that we are interdependent. There's nothing wrong with being interdependent. We are oneness in diversity. We want to come together. The children of light want to come together. The children of darkness, it doesn't make them evil, it makes them unenlightened. What we're working toward is enlightenment. When will everything change? I'd like to say, come the dawn of light. Now, if you were told that you are the light of the world, and not to hide your light underneath a bushel basket, but to shine it for the world to see, that means you got something to do. But here's a good thing about being the light. The light doesn't fight darkness. All it does is shine, and darkness disappears. In our world today, we are extra challenged because a lot of people are so enmeshed in what is not true that the truth doesn't matter. Someone said to me one day, we were having a discussion. Those of you that know me know about my discussions. And she said, I don't care about your facts, and I don't care about your research. Oh my God. I don't care about your facts. I don't care about your research. That's the hard part. When people don't have eyes to see and don't have ears to hear, what then can we do? If we shine our light and they have a blindfold on, how can we share our light? There is one way. You see, there will come a time, we've talked about this before, excuse me, the cosmic 2x4. If we don't get it now, we get a bigger lesson. And then if we don't get it, we get an even bigger lesson. We get the lesson until we master it. Our lesson right now is that we are all one. You don't have to worry. Let your life be your gospel. Let the way you live and the way you treat others be the light that you are. Excuse me, I'm sorry. And I forgot my water today. We can do this. When the Jewish people were wondering where Moses had gone when he went up on the mountain, was gone, didn't come back, didn't come back. Makes me feel like when we're waiting for good news, doesn't come, doesn't come. So what did they do? Excuse me, they built a golden calf. And they worshipped it. They gave it the worship. The golden calf represents Mammon, the false god Mammon, which is money and materialism. So when the people here that are afraid about what their future will hold or that just want to get out, they go and they say, we got to take care of the economy. Yes, the economy is important. But nothing is more important than the gift of life we were given. I've said this before and I'll say it again. How are you spending your corona confinement? Not everybody is at home, but they have to deal with the difficulties of having to work in this kind of environment, risk their lives going out there every day. Give kudos to them, especially those that expose themselves directly to the virus. To think some people expose themselves because they have to save lives, and other people go out there and expose themselves blindly, risking the wonderful gift of life that they have. You want to be the light. You know, I read something one time, which I'll read to you one day. I can't remember all except that I said it says one time, once you make a decision to do something, the universe all cooperates with you to get you where you want to be. And I found this even as I started to think about, I've got to share about the children of light and the children of darkness. I've got to share it. It's been in me all this time. I talk about the upper two quadrants and the lower two quadrants of consciousness, but I'm always thinking it's the children of light, which is enlightenment, versus the children of darkness, which is ignorance. We want to come from ignorance to enlightenment. So this morning, during my prayer time, I happened to pick up a book, which you're going to hear more about down the road. But this is a book a friend of mine's mother wrote back in the 80s. She is a spiritualist. She talks to spiritual guides. And she wrote this book based on readings that she did with her guides. And it just opened up to this. This was just so amazing how it happens. It says, there is one shining rule, though no one is forced to stay in the darkness. They can be saved and helped as their souls truly improve. No one is forced to stay in the darkness. Not you, not me. Make your light. I hope you've been listening to my daily videos, how I spent my corona confinement, because you will find tips on how not to get bored. Bored people are boring people. On how to grow during these times of challenge. And so I hope you consider that an invitation to join me in those if you're having a hard time. And stay strong. Remember, you are the light of the world. Your job now is to be the light, to live your life. Let your life be your gospel. Thank you for being with me, and you have a blessed, beautiful, better than average day. Bye-bye.